At this moment, I circulated the mystic spirit treasure record within my body. Simultaneously, the white golden core at my dantian began to rotate slowly, absorbing the surrounding natural cosmic energy for my own use. I could even clearly perceive immortal cells being born one after another within my body. Moreover, during the journey, I wasn't the only one choosing to cultivate. Meanwhile, a bald man spoke slowly to Sire. Big brother, this void battlefield isn't much. It's not dangerous at all like the guider said. But as the group passed an underground water source, Saya dived down from high above without regard for his safety. The huge splashing sound echoed constantly in the silent cave. A moment later, Saya was seen surfacing with a small exotic beast held in both hands. I finally caught you. Seeing this, I frowned slightly. After flying for so long, let alone danger, we hadn't even seen a single hair of an exotic beast. As a result, many people who could maintain caution at the beginning were now gradually becoming slack. Immediately, I looked around. Here, only the force field was a bit strange, which might make people look a bit disheveled if careless. Otherwise, this space was as beautiful as a mysterious paradise. However, just then, an inexplicable palpitation filled my entire body. I saw a huge black shadow slowly approaching us beneath the water surface not far away. Immediately, I patted Saya's shoulder lightly. Under his bewildered expression, I spoke indifferently. Stop playing. Get ready for battle. Meanwhile, the leading glasses man suddenly spread his arms and shouted loudly, "Everyone stop." After saying that, he looked ahead with a serious face. A high-level exotic beast is coming towards us. Prepare for battle. Hearing this, Saya looked at me in disbelief and asked, "How did you discover the exotic beast earlier than the officers?" Under everyone's look of amazement, I looked coldly ahead and spat out two words indifferently. Intuition. Since leaving Earth, I haven't dealt with exotic beasts. To be honest, except for the main body of the exotic beast, I haven't seen what exotic beasts above level 9 look like. Looking at the constantly approaching black shadow, now I know. Compared to level 9, level 10 is just an increase in size. But from level 11 onwards, a qualitative change occurs, and the exotic beast's body size actually begins to shrink. Looking at countless exotic beasts gradually surfacing, the leading red-haired woman said coldly to the recruits behind her, "What are you all looking at? Do you expect me to clear the path for you?" However, as soon as her voice fell, Sire was seen turning into a stream of light and rushing quickly towards the exotic beasts. In just an instant, that stream of light pierced through the mount beneath an exotic beast. Seeing this, numerous exotic beasts opened their bloody mouths and attacked Sire. At this moment, Sire gripped his palm in the void, looking ahead with a sharp gaze. The next second, as his arm penetrated the body of an exotic beast, and the moment he pulled his hand out, a purple crystal core appeared in his hand. Sire couldn't help but be amazed. This crystal core actually contains such pure cosmic energy. After thinking for a moment, he swallowed it in one gulp. In an instant, a brilliant silver galaxy rule power descended immediately, constantly washing Sire's body. Good stuff. This crystal core actually contains rule power. Just one saved me decades of cultivation time. As soon as these words came out, everyone was momentarily dazed. Immediately after, several figures rushed quickly towards the exotic beasts below. At this moment, I couldn't help but think secretly, Sire at level 12 has already attracted 2 silver galaxy rules into his body, and the third one is also faintly emerging. For an ordinary genius, spending their whole life, they might not necessarily be able to cultivate a technique to the peak of the 5th realm to comprehend the power of rules. But here, one can directly absorb the rule power within the crystal core. Isn't this totally a panacea? If there are enough crystal cores, how many years of bitter cultivation can be saved for an ordinary person? As everyone defeated the remaining exotic beasts, they also obtained the coveted crystal cores from their bodies. However, at this time, the glasses man spoke coldly to Sire. "You are smart, knowing to use the exotic beast crystal core to improve your strength. The crystal core indeed contains rule fragments, but at the same time, there are many impurities. If you absorb it directly without purification like this, it won't be long before you become a servant of the dark side." Hearing this, Sire's expression froze. Then he retorted disdainfully, "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing." After hearing the glasses man's words, the crowd preparing to devour put down the crystal cores in their hands. Seeing this, the glasses man smiled slightly. "Let's continue to set off." Meanwhile, Saya patted Tang Dun on the shoulder. "This trip is worth it. I didn't expect the crystal cores of high-level exotic beasts could directly enhance a martial artist's strength." However, Tang Dun reminded, "But the officer said this method has side effects and is very likely to make people fall into darkness." But Saya waved his hand disapprovingly. "The officer only said it's possible. Besides, as long as it is purified, it can be completely avoided." At this moment, after listening to their conversation, I pondered, these exotic beast crystal cores can be perfectly absorbed, but for myself, it is unnecessary. Just this little bit of energy fragments is not as good as slaying a few high-level zombies in the dream space, not to mention the side effects. In the following time, our group encountered several more waves of exotic beasts. Some level 12 martial artists were like they had been starving for 10 years. The moment they saw the exotic beasts, they lunged at them. In this world where the weak are prey to the strong, Saya, being level 11, hadn't obtained a single exotic beast. Seeing this, Tang Dun rubbed his bald head and handed a crystal core to Saya. "How about I give you this one?" Hearing this, Saya was filled with indignation and strode forward. "I want the one I hunt with my own hands." However, just then, a hand grabbed Saya's wrist. Don't be anxious, we are already at the battlefield. Are you afraid there won't be exotic beasts for you? There will be plenty of opportunities for crystal cores later. The most important thing now is to properly understand the strength and methods of the exotic beasts. Once we reach the base, you won't have such a good opportunity. As soon as these words came out, Saya felt enlightened. You are right, thanks for the tip. Seeing this, I smiled slightly, then turned into a stream of light and flew quickly ahead. Watching my retreating back, Saya murmured, Lu Sheng, who exactly are you? Why is your strength average? Yet you have an incredibly calm and confident temperament, as if everything is under your control. Saya looked at me with great interest and thought to himself, I have seen many big figures, and only those at the very top can have a temperament similar to Lu Sheng. He is either of extraordinary status or possesses a huge reliance. No matter which one, Lu Sheng is definitely not an ordinary person. This trip is truly lucky. I got to know these two friends at once. One is Tang Dun, who is kind-hearted, and the other is a mysterious person with strong power. Recalling what the fortune teller said before, could it be that the biggest turning point in my life is in this void battlefield? But no matter what, I only bit the bullet and came here because I had no hope of breaking through. I didn't expect I really came to the right place. Soon, in the following days, the group flew in this starry sky for several more days. During this period, they encountered dozens of waves of exotic beast groups, the largest of which was an exotic beast army led by 3 level 12 exotic beast leaders, and the weakest exotic beast also reached level 11. During this time, through the slaughter between the crowd and the exotic beasts, many level 12 martial artists in the team satisfactorily obtained crystal cores, and some even began trying to absorb them directly like Sire. The benefits they received were also obvious. During this period, Sire was like a god of death, slaughtering various exotic beasts, and others dared not compete with him fearing his strength. But this also led to Sire becoming visibly stronger, and simultaneously, his personality became more arrogant and rampant. Among this group of people, the one who harvested the second most was a young man named Huang Ji. This person had been obscure, focusing only on hunting exotic beasts, but in a certain battle, a small monster was snatched by a level 12 martial artist. Huang Ji instantly flew into a rage, and a piercing killing intent was released instantly. You dare to snatch my stuff. Facing Huang Ji's sudden outburst, everyone present was thoroughly deterred. Everyone then discovered that this person was actually a super powerhouse whose strength was not inferior to Sire at all. On the other side, watching Sire turn into a slaughtering machine, ruthlessly harvesting the lives of exotic beasts, Saya couldn't help but complain. Truly a shameless guy, even snatching level 10 exotic beasts from us level 11s. Hearing this, I just watched quietly and thought, perhaps stimulated by Huang Ji, Sire showed an extremely strong desire to win and become stronger. Before, he could still leave some soup for others, but now he has become completely protective of his food, so much so that he swallows the crystal cores directly every time, completely throwing the guider's advice to the back of his mind. I originally thought he was somewhat stronger than Monroe, but now it seems he is a complete fool. His behavior also thoroughly aroused public anger. Sire, aren't you going too far? Do you want to take all the benefits for yourself? Facing the voices of condemnation coming from around, the arrogance between Sire's brows did not diminish in the slightest. He stared dead at the crowd and spoke slowly. Not convinced? If not convinced, hold it in. If you have the ability, come and rob mine, provided you can rob it. As soon as these words came out, the anger in everyone's hearts grew a few points. What do you mean by that? You are just a little stronger than us. Do you really think you are invincible? However, as soon as the voice fell, a fist suddenly appeared in front of that person. An afterimage flashed, and Sire shouted, "Shut up." Seeing this, the red-haired woman immediately stopped them. All of you stop. However, facing Sire's provocation, the crowd was already furious. I don't believe it. Can you beat all of us? Let's get him together. In just the blink of an eye, the situation intensified, and more people joined this melee. Looking at the scene before him, Saya couldn't help but be surprised. What's wrong with these people? Isn't it crazy to have infighting at this time? You know this is the void battlefield. However, in the next second, Saya's eyes gradually became strange. If I go up and sneak attack Sire now, would I have a chance to kill him? But just then, a slap suddenly hit his face. Looking at the slightly sober Saya, I spoke indifferently. You were bewitched just now. No need to thank me. Hearing this, Saya immediately felt fear. What happened to me just now? Why did such a thought suddenly pop up in my mind? Not to mention whether it would work, just with my mere level 11 strength rushing into a level 12 team battle. I'm afraid I wouldn't even know how I died. Seeing this, I lowered my brow slightly, then looked sharply at the battlefield aside. Sire was besieged by 6 people but still did not lose the wind, and that female officer who didn't get along well with Sire along the way actually stood on Sire's side to help him. At this moment, Saya, having stabilized his mind a bit, spoke indifferently. Why protect this kind of person? Let him be beaten by everyone. Maybe everyone's anger will subside, and this chaos will end. Hearing this, Tang Dun retorted, no, they don't just want to beat Sire up, they want to kill Sire, and Sire also wants to kill them. Countless recruits were killing each other. One recruit appeared behind Sire with killing intent in his eyes. Seeing this, Saya's pupils instantly shook. They are completely going for the kill, and these people are all those who directly absorbed the exotic beast crystal cores before. Hearing this, I glanced at him faintly. It seems you aren't too stupid. However, Saya ignored my words words, a trace of fear flashed in his eyes. Is this the side effect brought by the crystal core? Even level 12 martial artists cannot resist it. Thinking of this, he clenched his fist angrily. This guider is too irresponsible. Just casually reminded us a couple of sentences about such an important thing. Fortunately, I didn't get a single crystal core along the way. But then he was stunned again. Wait, I clearly didn't absorb the exotic beast crystal core. Why was I affected just now? Can this thing be contagious? However, my next sentence made him want to vomit blood on the spot. You were affected simply because you were too weak. As soon as these words came out, Saya immediately retorted, aren't you level 11 just like me? But when he looked at the meaningful smile on my face, he felt like a mute eating yellow lotus, unable to express his bitterness. Finally, he could only ask helplessly, what exactly is the reason? Just say it directly. I pointed to the depths of the battlefield starry sky. If I'm not wrong, there should be something or some existence over there that influenced the magnetic field of this area. It made everyone in this starry sky extremely irritable, even losing their rationality, leading to the chaos before us. And it can magnify the negative substances in the exotic beast crystal cores remaining in the martial artist's bodies thousands of times, so much so that you were affected just by being on the side. Guess what existence it would be? Hearing this, drops of cold sweat appeared on Tang Dun's bald head. Could it be a general class exotic beast far stronger than ordinary level 12s, possibly even reaching the peak of level 13? Meanwhile, Saya's face was covered with fear. How is this possible? That is a powerful existence that can only be seen in the main star sector. Level 13 martial artists are considered regional tycoons even in the entire galaxy. We just stepped into the void battlefield, and we can encounter such a level of exotic beast? This is completely impossible. However, while Saya and the other were hugging and crying, I looked around. That guy Huang Ji seemed to have run away. It seems this isn't his first time here. It feels like he is more familiar with the void battlefield than the guider. As soon as he noticed something wrong, he immediately slipped away in advance. Hearing this, Saya grabbed my arm with a frightened face and shouted, let's run too. That's a level 13 exotic beast. If we really encounter it later, we will die without a whole corpse. His voice was so loud that the recruits in the melee immediately stopped their actions and looked over here. Immediately, everyone quickly surrounded Saya and questioned, what level 13 exotic beast? Speak clearly. However, just then, the glasses man shouted, knowing it's a level 13 exotic beast, if you don't want to die, stop immediately. After saying that, an unparalleled aura instantly enveloped everyone. You recruits are new to the void battlefield. Don't you know how to write the word danger? A little fluctuation causes you to fight among yourselves. If you want to die, continue fighting. I'm leaving first. Sire asked with a hint of luck. There's a level 13 exotic beast here. Are you joking? Seeing this, the glasses man looked down seriously. Do you think I'm joking with you? General class exotic beasts have their own dark force field, which can affect all creatures within a certain range around them. You lost control just now because you were affected by that force field. However, as soon as the voice fell, a noisy discussion sounded instantly. Just a force field made us messy like this. How can we fight this battle? Is the gap between level 12 and level 13 really that big? Hearing this, the glasses man explained, it's not as exaggerated as you think. The main reason lies with you. If you hadn't swallowed the exotic beast crystal cores directly but waited to return to the base to purify them with a special secret method before absorbing, the impact wouldn't have been so great. As soon as these words came out, Sire immediately questioned loudly, since there is a special secret method to absorb crystal cores, why didn't you say it earlier? Instead, you chose to stand by and watch us consume each other. A trace of sternness flashed in the glasses man's eyes. Our task is only to bring you to the base. Why should we teach you the secret method for free? Besides, my companion reminded you long ago not to absorb the crystal cores directly. You just didn't listen. Moreover, please recognize the fact that before you arrive at the base, you group of people can't even be counted as recruits. But rest assured, even if there is a level 13 exotic beast nearby, things are not as bad as imagined. We have special reconnaissance methods to detect the general direction of the energy force field. We just need to detour, and as long as we aren't particularly unlucky, accidents won't happen. After speaking, the red-haired woman snapped her fingers, and a miniature detection instrument appeared out of thin air. We just need to avoid the red coordinates. However, at this time, Sire couldn't help but ask, what do you mean by particularly unlucky? Hearing this, the red-haired woman explained, for example, it's possible that the general class exotic beast suddenly moves its position on a whim and happens to bump into us who are detouring. After saying that, the corners of her mouth curled up slightly, or perhaps, we have already been targeted by the other party. After hearing the guider's words, everyone calmed down. After all, a level 13 exotic beast is not a joke. Of course, some people reacted and slowly looked at Saya, because he was the first to break the news of the level 13 exotic beast. However, most people looked at Tang Dun. After all, in the small group of three, both Saya and I only had level 11 strength. No one thought a mere level 11 could discover the clues of a general class exotic beast earlier than them. But immediately after, when the glasses man finished counting the number of people, he frowned slightly. It turned out that one person was missing from the team, and this person was Huang Ji, who had secretly run away. After learning the news, the red-haired woman said calmly, if he ran, let him run. Such an old slick naturally has his way of survival. On the way following the guider, Saya asked worriedly, Lu Sheng, do you say it's it's really okay for us to follow the guider? Hearing this, I ignored him and thought to myself, just as the guider said, the level 12 martial artists in the team lost control because of the force field of the level 13 exotic beast. This ability is similar to the emotional manipulation of the Path of Divine Crystal, but the spiritual power cultivated by the Path of Divine Crystal possesses the power to manipulate 4 emotions at level 12, which should be stronger than a level 13 exotic beast. Or it is possible that this is just a part of the power of the level 13 exotic beast's force field. Or is it that the Path of Divine Crystal taught to me by Duanifeng is more powerful than I imagined? Of these two guesses, I lean towards the second one. After all, the Path of Divine Crystal is a level 15 sky-reaching great Tao comparable to the Stellar Path. It seems it is time to hone the control of emotions by the 4-color crystal spiritual power. I feel it will come in handy in the future. Immediately, on the following journey, Tang Dun and Saya became my best test subjects. Meanwhile, under the leadership of the two guiders, the marching route became erratic, and they needed to stay in place for a while every now and then. But even so, we still encountered exotic beast groups, but this time everyone stopped attacking and avoided them from a distance, completely contrary to their high spirits before. However, facing the gradually lengthening stopping time each time, Saya hid behind me and asked with a trembling voice, "Do you think we can still reach the base alive?" Hearing this, Tang Dun whispered, "You are a level 11 anyway, why are you so timid?" However, in the next second, Tang Dun suddenly laughed loudly. This scene made Saya speechless. At a time like this, you can still laugh? Tang Dun's face showed a look of joy. "My wife just gave birth to my 8th child before I left. Do you think there will be a few more in the family when I go back?" As soon as these words came out, Saya's face was full of helplessness. "My good brother, you are not at home, and your wife gives birth to children. Is this something to be happy about? Don't mind these details. More people make it lively." Looking at the performance of the two, from the current point of view, the effect of my manipulation has slowly blended into reality. Saya's fear and Tang Dun's joy are much better than the obvious abruptness on the passenger ship before. As for the child Tang Dun mentioned just now, I wonder if my child will be born when I return to the Almastar sector. After entering the void battlefield, all my connections with the outside world were completely cut off, and this should be the peculiarity of this space. After the glasses man's spiritual power constantly scanned the surroundings, he suddenly opened his eyes and shouted sternly, "We can continue to set off." However, at this moment, a voice suddenly came from the crowd. "Everyone wait, Sire is missing." This sudden situation plunged the team into a brief silence. After some thought, the glasses man spoke slowly, "Ignore him for now. We'll talk about everything after returning to the battlefield base. Let's continue." Meanwhile, a trace of shock flashed in my eyes. I didn't expect Sire to be able to leave the team under my spiritual power monitoring without being discovered. The journey ahead gradually became weird. The team advanced in the void for half a day, and after another head count, it was found that 3 more people were missing. Now the faces of the two guiders became even more dignified, and the team was also in panic. After all, several living people disappeared by their side in a blink of an eye. Everyone was worried that they would be the next. Looking at the fear constantly breeding in the team, an ominous premonition inexplicably arose in my heart. Meanwhile, the red-haired woman frowned tightly. "We may have encountered the worst situation. That level 13 exotic beast hiding in the dark has thoroughly targeted us." Thinking of this, the red-haired woman spoke immediately. "Quickly contact the base and request a level 13 lord to come and pick us up. Our strength alone is completely insufficient." Hearing this, the glasses man whispered back, "I have already notified them. Lord Hai Jidao is on his way." Hearing this, the red-haired woman let out a deep sigh of foul breath. "I didn't expect it to be Lord Extreme Blade coming. Then there shouldn't be any problem. We just need to stall for time and meet up with him safely." Then the two conveyed this news to everyone to soothe their emotions. However, at this moment, I whispered, "What if?" A cold light flashed in my eyes. I mean, what if we can't wait for the reinforcement of that level 13 powerhouse? After hearing what I just said, Saya's expression instantly became severe. "According to you, aren't we 9 deaths in 1 life?" I smiled lightly. "You don't need to be too pessimistic. Just find the right time to run." As soon as these words came out, Tang Dun and Saya looked at each other speechlessly. At this moment, everyone was less than half the distance from the base. After a short rest, countless figures turned into meteors flying quickly towards a certain part of the starry sky, just to reach the recruit base earlier. But even so, the uneasy emotion still spread among the crowd. In the following journey, people continued to disappear. When the whole team stopped for the 5th time, the number of missing people had reached as many as 8. At this time, the expressions of the two guiders were ugly to the extreme, and the others were even more insecure, keeping a certain distance from each other. This elite powerhouse team gathering from a dozen star sectors was almost turning into a herd of beasts dominated by fear and suspicion. Seeing this, the glasses man shouted at the crowd, "Don't move forward anymore. Everyone stop. As long as Lord Extreme Blade finds us, all problems can be solved." From the expression on his face, it was not difficult to see that this kind of weird thing, as a guider, was probably the first time he had encountered it. Meanwhile, I stood in the crowd silently watching all this. Interesting, since Sire and Huang Ji disappeared, I have been closely monitoring everyone in the team with spiritual power. However, spiritual power monitoring emphasizes the concept of coverage. It's like a person standing in a room can only see things within the scope of their eyes, but the surveillance camera above your head can take you in the the whole room into view, and you cannot perceive the existence of the surveillance. The guider is like the person in the room monitoring the whole team, and I am the person sitting in the surveillance room, silently watching everything happening in the room. From the current point of view, the team belongs to the first layer, the guider belongs to the second layer, the masses are the third layer, and I am on the fourth layer. However, just now when I counted the number of people again, unbeknownst to me, another person was missing, and I didn't notice it at all. I only knew that they suddenly disappeared, as if there was a guy standing on the fifth layer manipulating all this. In an instant, a weird emotion instantly enveloped me. I looked around constantly, and in just a moment, 2 more people were missing from the team. Not only that, even their appearances gradually became blurred in my memory, and I couldn't even recall them clearly. Immediately, a cold light flashed in my eyes. This is a bit horrific. One must know that with my current strength, the possibility of memory decline simply does not exist, let alone people I just met. I can clearly remember the face of a passerby who passed by at a certain time point decades ago, and this kind of forgetting should be the weird ability possessed by the guy standing on the fifth layer. Thinking of this, I frowned slightly. It seems I can no longer rely on spiritual power for monitoring. In the opponent's eyes, my spiritual power is like a big net full of holes. Relying solely on spiritual power cannot capture its existence. Immediately, I turned to look around. Then what should I use? Looking at the uneasy emotions gradually emerging on the faces of the surrounding crowd, a thought suddenly appeared in my mind. Emotions. I almost forgot that I can also manipulate emotions. Although my attainment may not compare to that guy, finding some clues through this shouldn't be a problem. After saying that, several white threads flew out of my palm, landing accurately on everyone's heads. I just need to link everyone's emotions and then monitor them. Now the team is in panic. It's time to give them a different feeling. The 2 people who were frowning just now suddenly laughed loudly in the next second, and then bursts of hearty laughter came from the crowd. While I was counting the number of people based on emotions, suddenly, an emotion seed at the back of the team quietly extinguished. The recruit who was originally smiling suddenly became red-eyed. The emotion of anger twitched constantly on his face until he left in a certain direction, and the people around him turned a blind eye to it, as if no one except me noticed his departure. Seeing this, my eyes condensed slightly. Sure enough, he left on his own. Even if I stop him now, it's useless. Given the huge gap in realm between this team and the guy standing on the fifth layer, it won't be long before similar people are hit, and if I stand out at this time, I will definitely become that guy's next target. But I want to personally experience the opponent's methods. That guy is obviously a master of emotional ability. Competing with it will definitely benefit me a lot. But what if I lose? The fate of those who left the team is still unclear. Should I risk myself? After pondering for a moment, a cold light shot out from my eyes. A mere level 13. Why should I fear it? So I secretly ran to the few weakest people at the back of the team. Immediately after an emotion seed quietly disappeared, a man suddenly shouted at the starry sky, then left alone aimlessly. Seeing this, I lightly patted the man's shoulder. However, in the next second, a gloomy and weird spiritual power instantly enveloped me. This feeling, just now, as I lightly patted my hand on that person's shoulder, a gloomy spiritual power instantly invaded my mind. Immediately, pictures emerged, and endless negative emotions wrapped me in an instant. The veins on my forehead bulged, and the flame of anger in my heart rose rapidly, swelling to an unprecedented height in a blink of an eye. At this moment, the countless negative emotions in my heart condensed into a twisted flame humanoid, seemingly mocking and provoking me in the world's biggest way. Looking at the product condensed by my negative emotions before me, the corners of my mouth curled up slightly. So that's how it is. That guy controls people's hearts like this. Immediately, I took a deep breath. I just used an emotional clone to test it. I didn't expect you to take the bait. A gust of wind spewed from my mouth, and the condensed flame humanoid dissipated instantly. Is this all the skill you have? As I blew away the evil fire in my heart, the eyes of the martial artist beside me gradually returned to clarity. My action was undoubtedly conveying the calmest and biggest mockery to the guy standing on the fifth layer. Then I looked up at the endless starry sky. I waited in vain. With your strength, go cultivate for another 100 years. At this moment, somewhere in the void, nameless anger was instantly ignited, but this time it originated from the other party. Meanwhile, I seemed to feel the other party's gaze in the dark. The next second, I was pulled into the emotion space again. Let's see what tricks you have this time. The originally thin humanoid became huge at this moment, and its eyes exuded endless anger. Seeing this, I clenched my right fist, and a wicked smile appeared on my face, a bit improved from before. Then as a return gift, I'll send you a wisp of breeze. After saying that, I turned my fist into a palm. In an instant, a biting gust of wind appeared without warning, blowing it away in just the blink of an eye. Feeling the traces of the other party's departure, I couldn't help but think secretly, it seems it's not that powerful. Is it because I am too strong, or it is too weak? Through this invisible confrontation, I also gained more insights into the path of emotions. Similarly, in the following journey, that guy secretly came several more times, but most of them were disrupted by me and returned without success. Failure after failure, that existence was visibly furious. Although I disrupted that guy several times, it still succeeded a few times. The red-haired woman frowned. Damn it, a few more people are missing from the team. After a brief discussion between the two guiders, the red-haired woman announced to everyone rest in place for the time being, waiting for Lord Hai Ji Dao to come and meet us. Hearing this, Saya couldn't help shouting, "What's What's the situation? Making us wait again? It's been too weird recently. Where did those missing people go? Meanwhile, I appeared behind him and spoke indifferently. What are you afraid of? Let's just wait here. Besides, the level 13 powerhouse from the base is coming soon. After the team stopped, that guy still didn't give up. During this period, it tried several times, but just when the affected people were about to lose their reason, I woke them up without exception. After experiencing the third failure, that guy seemed to finally give up and never appeared again. At the same time, the glasses man also brought good news. Lord Haijidao will meet us in at most half a day. As soon as these words came out, everyone silently began to calculate the time in their hearts. It seemed that with every second passing, the haze hovering over this teen would disperse a bit. Soon time passed. Someone in the crowd felt the approach of an aura. Someone is coming. However, just then, the glasses man put down the communicator in his hand and spoke to everyone with difficulty. Just got the news. Lord Haijidao was delayed by something and needs a little more time to arrive. Hearing this, everyone looked at the starry sky, and a horrifying meaning rose instantly from the bottom of their hearts. Then who is coming now? As several figures in the distance got closer and closer, after seeing the appearance of the leader clearly, Saya was instantly stunned. It's Sire and the others. They came back, but immediately he complained in a low voice. This kid is really lucky. Actually didn't die outside. However, at this moment, my whole nerves tensed up instantly, because on them, I felt a weird aura, and in my eyes, behind this group of people floated a crimson face twisted to anger, staring fiercely at everyone present like a greedy beast. Seeing this, I couldn't help but think secretly, it seems that guy finally couldn't help but want to make a frontal move. But even so, it still hides its head and tail. Truly a camper. Meanwhile, the two guiders were already holding weapons and waiting in full battle array. It seems they also noticed something wrong. That unrevealed level 13 general class exotic beast really acts like a warlock in the games of my previous life, liking to control all characters and hide behind to ambush people. Although the returnees were companions, a weird atmosphere filled everyone's hearts, so much so that no one dared to rush forward to meet them. Many people even looked at the returning few with deep vigilance. Officers, we just left the team for a while without greeting you. No need to draw knives, right? Hearing this, the glasses man scolded sternly. Whether it's necessary isn't up to you. You left the team without authorization. If you don't explain clearly today, sending you back directly would be a light punishment. As soon as these words came out, Sire's eyes condensed. I admit it was wrong for us to leave the team without authorization, but there was a reason. I found an exotic beast gathering place. It is the best hunting ground with a large number of exotic beast crystal cores. I knew if I told you about this, you would never agree, so we acted alone. After hearing about the hunting ground, the red-haired woman frowned slightly. Immediately after, a man behind Sire also echoed, yes, officer, we left the team without authorization just to hunt more exotic beast crystal cores. After all, our original intention of entering the void battlefield was to become stronger, and exotic beast crystal cores can be said to be the best way. I don't think doing this is wrong. Then another recruit who left the team also spoke. Besides, aren't we all back safely now? You don't need to treat us like this, right? After listening to the explanation of Sire and the others, when you asked the glasses man beside her, what do you think? However, before the guider could answer, Sire waved his hand. How about this, officers? After saying that, the bracelet on his wrist bloomed with a dazzling light. Immediately, a large number of crystal cores poured out like a waterfall. These exotic beast crystal cores are our gesture of apology. The quantity is half of our harvest this time. We are willing to take them all out and distribute them to everyone, provided that the two officers allow us to return to the team and no longer pursue the fault of our action this time. Seeing this, Saya's pupils shrank. Holy cow, so many exotic beast crystal cores. Did Sire dig up the nest of an exotic beast group? Tang Dun aside also frowned and pondered. If such a pile of crystal cores is fully absorbed, to what extent will one's strength skyrocket? Moreover, the officer also said there is a secret method to offset the side effects of the crystal core. Meanwhile, many people were slowly approaching that pile of crystal cores. Under the huge temptation, their breathing became heavier. Officers, how about we just forgive them? Seeing this scene, the glasses man's heart tightened instantly. This kid actually uses the team to coerce us. He definitely harbors malicious intentions. At this moment, I, standing aside, also frowned slightly, not attacking directly. This point exceeded my expectations. Since this is the case, then perform to your heart's content. I want to see what tricks you are playing. As the two guiders landed slowly, Sire whispered, officers, as long as you nod, I have a separate thank you after returning to the base, and I can also share the coordinates of that exotic beast gathering place with you. Hearing this, the glasses man looked silently at his companion. After seeing the red-haired woman nod, Sire punched his palm. It seems the two agreed, then we. However, before he could finish his sentence, the glasses man interrupted. Sire, after going out for a trip, you seem to have become extraordinarily polite. Although I don't know you deeply, I remember with your character, it is impossible for you to call us officers, let alone take out so many exotic beast crystal cores so generously. Your change is a bit too big, Sire. As soon as these words came out, Sire's expression froze. Then he hurriedly defended. I am young. My growth speed is also fast. Isn't it normal to have some changes? What's strange about this? The glasses man nodded slightly. What you said is not unreasonable, so I still choose to believe you. Whether you are worthy of trust or not will have to be personally verified after Lord Haijidao arrives. lives. Don't worry, Ling Yu and I will put in a good word for you to Lord Hai Jidao then. Hearing this, Sire's face became ugly at a visible speed. I didn't expect the two officers to be so unreasonable. After saying that, two more voices sounded. I said it long ago, why waste breath with them? Just do it directly. What a waste of time. With our current strength, we can openly abuse them. In the next second, Sire completely tore off his disguise, his expression instantly becoming extremely ferocious, and simultaneously his eyes were full of killing intent. Since the Lord don't like being open and above board, what can I do? Immediately with a burst, he disappeared instantly. In that case, I have tolerated you for a long time. As Sire's figure constantly approached the two guiders, accompanied by a burst of sharp and piercing laughter, a dazzling light bloomed behind him. Seeing this, Ling Yu's eyes condensed instantly. In an instant, a deafening explosion resounded through the entire starry sky. The terrifying energy aftermath instantly lifted the two guiders away. Ling Yu frowned tightly. When did this kid have the strength of 5 silver galaxy rules in his body? Hearing this, the glasses man was also momentarily distracted. Sire only had the strength of 3 rules before. Now he has skyrocketed by 2. With our current strength, we are no longer his match. However, at this moment, Sire spoke slowly to the companions behind him. You guys go together too. Let them see your current power. After saying that, several figures rushed past quickly and soon fought with several martial artists. In just a few encounters, they discovered that not only Sire, the strength of all the people who had disappeared had achieved a qualitative leap. Those who originally had 1 rule entering the body had all evolved to 2 or even 3. These people were like tigers entering a flock of sheep, instantly beating up all the martial artists. Looking at everything happening before him, Saya opened his mouth wide. Did these guys eat some tonic pills? Why does each of them possess strength on par with the previous Sire? Hearing this, I spoke indifferently. Can't you see it yet? These people are long gone from being the people who left initially. Tang Dun aside also spoke. I also feel that every one of them is weird, with a disgusting smell on their bodies. As soon as these words came out, Saya suddenly reacted. Do you mean they are all disguised by others? I shook my head. That's not it. The people are still the same people. It's just that they signed a deed of betrayal and went bad. However, in the next second, I suddenly discovered that behind these guys, there was a twisted shadow constantly pulling them. Judging from the aura, it was very similar to the indescribable shadow I encountered in the Sea Abyss cave. Meanwhile, the battle situation on the field began to fall into chaos. Except for the 2 guiders who could barely engage with Sire, the others couldn't resist at all. Those powerhouses with 2 or 3 rules were like Sire's replicas, defeating a group of level 12 martial artists in a very short time. As Sire strangled a martial artist's neck, the glasses man shouted, "Stop it." At this moment, Sire let out a creepy sneer. Actually, there is no absolute contradiction between us. Absolutely no need to fight. Immediately he asked gently, "Tell me, what did you enter the void battlefield for?" The martial artist whose neck was strangled by Sire, with a pale face, spoke with difficulty. To become stronger. After saying that, the smile on Sire's face grew a few points. Everyone's goal is the same. Since we all came to become stronger, the opportunity to become stronger is right in front of you. Why don't you accept it? Immediately he waved his hand, and countless exotic beast crystal cores poured out. Take as many of these as you want, as long as you are willing to join us. Looking at the crystal cores in hand, that martial artist's eyes were full of fanaticism. But just when he was about to agree, the glasses man immediately stopped him. Do you know what he wants you to join and you are willing? Is there any free benefit in this world? In the void battlefield, all mistakes can be forgiven. Only one thing cannot. That is soul fall into the abyss. Being a human but willing to be a human trader for the exotic beasts. Sire, do you really not regret doing this? At this moment, the crowd gradually being tempted was suddenly awakened by these words, and they all couldn't help but distance themselves from Sire. Seeing this, the veins on Sire's forehead bulged. You 2 dogs, how can you be so annoying? But you are right about one thing, that is, I am no longer a human. As soon as these words came out, Sire's face was full of shock. Sire actually chose betrayal. How could he make the decision to abandon his own race? However, facing everyone's disdainful eyes, Sire still laughed loudly. What's wrong with joining the alien race? Look at how powerful I am now. After saying that, he stood upright with one hand. If I didn't choose to join, how could I possess this ability? In the next second, the limbs of the 2 guiders twisted in a weird way, and this was exactly the ability to distort the void unique to exotic beasts. Seeing this, Ling Yu immediately cut off her arm to end the pain. Immediately she said coldly to Sire, no matter how strong you are just a dog of theirs. With your talent, even if you don't become a dog, it wouldn't take long to reach this strength, right? Level 13, or even level 14 is possible. But now, being a dog for a level 13 exotic beast, you may not be able to break through level 13 in this life. Should I say you are smart or stupid? You lost the lady and broke the army. Calculating carefully, this is too unprofitable. Hearing this, Saya also echoed, yeah, those who can stand here are geniuses 1 in 10,000 in the star sector, possessing infinite possibilities in the future. Why covet this momentary power and bear the name of human trader to be a dog for the alien race? The key is that being a dog completely blocked one's future. That general class exotic beast is equal to level 13. How could it let its subordinate exceed level 13? Truly so stupid. Losing both ways. Careful calculation makes it not worth it at all. Facing the endless ridicule around, a gloomy killing intent emanated from from Sire. You trash. I will kill you. Facing Saya's endless ridicule, the veins on Sire's face instantly bulged. Immediately he shot out, rushing straight towards Saya. Yours. Shut up for daddy. As Sire's figure approached quickly, the two guiders appeared instantly in front of Saya, blocking Sire's angry blow for him. At this moment, Sire's eyes erupted with endless killing intent. All open for me. After saying that, fists like raindrops bombarded frantically towards the two guiders. Looking at the terrifying energy fluctuations generated by the three people's battle, the martial artists with lower strength on the edge of the battlefield had already begun to scatter and flee. Seeing this, Saya looked at Tang Dun at a loss. Brother, do we fight or flee? However, before Tang Dun could answer, he saw the few martial artists who had just fled quickly turn back, their faces full of horror. All are high-level exotic beasts. As soon as the voice fell, in the starry sky not far away, countless exotic beasts poked their huge heads out of the void. Densely packed exotic beasts appeared in all directions, and the powerful aura belonging to level 12 exotic beasts rushed over like waves covering the sky and sun. For a time, endless fear quickly filled everyone's hearts. Conversely, Sire let out a proud laugh, still delusionally wanting to escape. You seem to have forgotten who is the real master of this space. Hearing this, Lin Yu looked at him coldly. Sire, you are truly obstinate. Meanwhile, everyone's face was covered with despair. Originally, Sire and others were already difficult to deal with, and now there are countless powerful exotic beasts. An exotic beast group of this scale, if placed outside, would be enough to crush a star sector 10 million times. Sire stood horizontally in the void, scanning the crowd with indifferent eyes and spoke slowly. Now I give you two choices, either join us, or die right now. As soon as these words came out, many people's faces instantly turned pale. This was undoubtedly forcing them to betray their own race. Finally, someone couldn't bear the pressure of life and death. A man named Carl slowly raised his arm, his voice trembling. I am willing to join. After saying that, Sire took him from the crowd to his front, his eyes showing undisguised joy. Very good. I guarantee you will absolutely not regret making this decision. You are safe now. Hearing this, Carl immediately bowed to Sire to express gratitude. At this moment, although regret flashed on his face from time to time, what was shown more was relief. The relief of surviving a catastrophe. Soon, after the first one set an example, many people raised their hands to express their willingness to join. Seeing this, a trace of solemnity flashed in my eyes. Under true life and death pressure, dignity, bottom line, all have to step aside. After all, cultivating to this point is not easy. Who would really want to die? Although the name of human traitor is indeed a bit ugly, hasn't Sire, the most talented among these recruits, also made a choice? As for the inability to break through level 13 cultivation, most of them know their potential well. Having 2 or 3 silver galaxy rules entering the body at level 12 is already the limit. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come to the void battlefield to try their luck. Looking at the flattery on those people's faces, people, once they accept their choice, will naturally come up with countless reasons to defend themselves. Immediately, I looked at the two people behind me. What about you two? How do you want to choose? Saya frowned. I still want to wait for Lord Extreme Blade to come. After all, betraying the race is the #1 felony in the starry sky. If outside, there might be a chance for mitigation, but in this void battlefield, once discovered, one will be executed on the spot. Hearing this, Tang Dun also spoke. If we do this, from now on, our families and descendants will be implicated, bearing this shame for generations, and will never be able to lift their heads. So I also want to wait for Lord Haiji Dao to come. After hearing the two's answers, the corners of my mouth couldn't help but reveal a smile. Simultaneously, the glasses man also cast a joyful look at the two, then shouted at Sire. Did you see that? Sire, not everyone is greedy for life and afraid of death. However, as soon as the voice fell, Sire let out a gloomy mocking laugh. You don't think that whatever lord will really come, do you? If he could really come, he would have arrived long ago. This little distance is nothing to a level 13 powerhouse. The great Lord of Oblivion has long erased the memory of that whatever skeleton Extreme Blade rescuing you. He is probably drinking tea leisurely in the room at the base right now. Only you are still waiting here foolishly. As soon as these words came out, Saya instantly panicked, looking at me helplessly. I watched ahead silently. You are really simple, believing whatever he says. To easily erase the memory of a level 13 powerhouse, the strength must reach at least level 14. Do you think a group of people like us is worth a level 14 powerhouse taking action? After hearing my explanation just now, Saya instantly woke up. Almost got tricked by this guy, Sire. According to you, Lord Extreme Blade will still come. I lowered my brows slightly, but judging from the current situation, it is unlikely to count on him to save the scene. Otherwise, Sire wouldn't have the effort to play any recruitment game with us. Hearing this, Saya waved his hand. Then what do we do now? Arriving late is the same as not arriving, surely not to collect our corpses. At this moment, Tang Dun also spoke slowly. Now either choose to join them, or I'm afraid we don't have a third road. Just then, Saya suddenly became excited. We can pretend to submit first, and then immediately turn back when Lord Haiji Dao comes. As soon as these words came out, my forehead was full of black lines, but Tang Dun aside gave a thumbs up and praised him continuously. Meanwhile, a small half of the martial artists had actively chosen to join Sire's camp, and the remaining small part was either hesitating or swearing to die rather than submit. At this time, Sire crossed his arms over his chest. Alright, the opportunity has been given to you. As for the remaining people, if you want to die, I won't stop you. Attack! After saying that, countless high-level exotic beasts surrounded the remaining people, and endless terrifying pressure shrouded everyone's hearts. Immediately he spoke coldly to the people behind him again. You guys attack too. Joining is not just lip service. Each of you must have at least one person's blood on your hands. Only in this way is the submission effective. If you can't do it, your end will be the same as theirs. Hearing this, the faces of all the rebellious people became extremely ugly. It seems that Saya wasn't the only one thinking about turning back after surrendering. After a short psychological construction, the rebellious people gritted their teeth one by one, every man for himself, and the devil take the hindmost. After saying that, monstrous battle intent erupted from their bodies, rushing quickly towards the remaining small group of people. Facing the siege of everyone, the two guiders could only barely stop a few level 12 martial artists. The level 11 martial artists on the field who hadn't rebelled became hotcakes in the eyes of those surrenderers. Facing the betrayal and siege from their own race, Saya was obviously a bit overwhelmed. However, while he was distracted, a martial artist with a ferocious face appeared behind him holding a weapon. This one is mine. As the big knife cut through the air, a piercing sound of breaking air rang in Saya's ear. The next second, Tang Dun suddenly appeared, blocking this blow for Saya with his physical body. Seeing this, Saya looked at Tang Dun with gratitude, but before he could be happy for long, two other rebels charged at him with knives. However, just then, I grabbed Saya's wrist. He looked at me for help as if grabbing a life-saving straw again. Quick, help me. But immediately he frowned and thought secretly, forget it. Lu Sheng is just a mere level 11. Even if he is stronger than me, how strong can he be? Thinking of this, he was extremely annoyed. I shouldn't have listened to that. This totally turned me onto a dead end. Although bullied outside, at least they wouldn't drive me to death. Compared to living, what does dignity count for? If I could live another life, I swear I will never come here again. However, at this moment, I spoke indifferently. Actually, there is another way. Besides rebelling and dying, we have a third choice, which is to eliminate Sire and all exotic beasts, as well as the rebels. This way, we neither have to betray nor die. Hearing this, Saya's eyes instantly lost focus. That sentence, eliminate Sire and all exotic beasts, echoed constantly in his mind. Immediately he shouted at me loudly, Lu Sheng, do you know what you are talking about? This is like saying I don't want to die so I live forever. The logic is fine, but the key is, can it be done? In an instant, an unparalleled aura instantly soared into the sky, seemingly tearing apart the space. And at this moment, I stood proudly in the center of that power, looking down on sentient beings like a god. As the firelight around me soared to the sky, the dazzling light illuminated the entire galaxy in an instant. I returned to my original appearance, a faint smile appearing at the corner of my mouth. It's been a long time since I killed someone. After saying that, I stepped out slowly. I almost forgot what it feels like to make a move last time. The next second, I suddenly appeared behind one of the rebels. While he was shocked, Saya immediately reminded Lu Sheng, be careful. This guy is a level 12 martial artist. Hearing this, I smiled without speaking, looking faintly at the rebel. Seeing this, the man hurriedly stabilized his mind, pretending, you really scared me. Looking carefully, your aura is just level 11. Immediately he shot towards me quickly. With the level gap between you and me, can you turn the sky upside down? However, I just looked at him indifferently. Immediately, accompanied by a huge roar, an invisible ripple instantly rippled in the starry sky. In an instant, the time around me seemed to freeze, and the rebel's palm stayed straight above my head like that. Simultaneously, a strong sense of fear instantly enveloped him. How can this be? Can't move at all. I slowly raised my arm. Seeing this, he hurriedly questioned, what do you want to do? However, in the next second, the powerful airflow submerged his figure in the blink of an eye. Under this blow, even Saya and Tang Dun in the distance couldn't control their figures and flew backwards. As the dust in the sky gradually dissipated, only half of the rebel's body remained standing in front of me. Immediately following, a divine soul suddenly popped out, looking blankly at his lower body. What's the situation? Why do I only have a divine soul left? Where's my body? Just then, an invisible suction force quickly wrapped his divine soul until it was completely swallowed into my belly. After a soft burp, I slowly looked aside. Tastes good. Who's next? As soon as these words came out, the battlefield instantly became quiet. The rebels looked at me as if seeing a god of death. After witnessing my cruel methods, they quickly scattered and fled. Seeing this, clusters of golden flames emerged around my palm. As I waved my hand, those countless golden flames instantly pierced through the heads of those few rebels. Immediately under their faces, their heads exploded like balloons. Accompanied by painful screams, brilliant fireworks bloomed in the galaxy. Divine souls floated in the air. How can this be? Our bodies were destroyed instantly like this. After I collected all the divine souls, a fish that slipped through the net fled quickly. Monster, how could this guy be only level 11? However, just as he was rejoicing that he ran fast, a huge palm appeared above his head, the huge shadow shrouding his entire figure. As the huge palm brought its 5 fingers together, his roaring sound instantly rang in the palm. I spoke indifferently, since you came, don't leave. After feeling the improvement of my strength during this period, invincible sweeping across a major realm like this is normal. Immediately after, I looked to the side. At this moment, the people around Sire fled rapidly, but he had a burning gaze. Interesting. I didn't expect such a guy to be hiding in the team. Truly gave me a surprise. Although those are just mediocrities who fused one silver galaxy rule, I also have to admit, your talent might be above mine. Just based on this, I cannot let you continue to live. Immediately, he shouted loudly at the people fleeing behind him. You bunch of cowardly guys. Let's attack together. We can definitely kill him. After hearing Sire's rallying words, the faces of several rebellious people fell into confusion. However, at this moment, one of the men shouted sternly, rather than running away, it's better to finish him off together with Sire. No matter how powerful he is, he cannot withstand our combined attack. Immediately, numerous rebellious people turned their gazes simultaneously towards Sire. What should we do next? Sire's expression hardened. I want the power in your bodies to be fully released. Immediately after, he issued an order to the thousands of exotic beasts. Join forces with us to strike him. After saying that, huge roaring sounds were heard from the exotic beast army. Hearing this, numerous rebellious people each led an exotic beast. After gathering the forces of both sides, Sire shouted loudly to the crowd, attack together, slaughter him. As soon as the voice fell, a huge palm instantly appeared above my head, and at this moment, I just watched all this silently with my eyes and spoke indifferently, really noisy. Immediately I let out a loud shout, get lost. Sound waves turned into bolts of thunder, instantly sweeping the entire space. In an instant, countless white light spots shot out in all directions at a terrifying speed, illuminating the entire starry sky like a galaxy. Seeing this, Sire's eyes were full of disbelief. How could this guy have such powerful power? As the smoke slowly dispersed, the rebellious crowd looked at me like looking at a monster. Even our full-strength attack cannot get close to him. Feeling the energy fluctuation that just erupted, I couldn't help but grin. I didn't expect a random roar to actually have such great power. Originally, I just wanted to mobilize the power of those more than 300,000 immortal cells, but I didn't expect the supersized immortal golden core in my Dantian to be mobilized at the same time. The fusion of the powers of the two is just like the most common lion's roar in the martial arts novels of my previous life. It can completely be called a supernatural power, and facts prove that my previous train of thought was correct. The immortal path plus the martial path is far from as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. The power brought by the combination of the two is enough to magnify a usual small movement to an incredible extent. This perhaps is what it means. With great power in the body, supernatural power forms naturally. After thinking through all this, I slowly looked to the rear. It seems there are still some people not cleaned up. The next second, a yellow lightning bolt shuttled constantly among the rebellious crowd. In just a few blinks of an eye, the number of betraying martial artists on the field plummeted by dozens, and at this moment, I was like a god of death constantly harvesting their lives. Meanwhile, the two guiders landed slowly and asked Saya, is Lu Xing with you? Who exactly is he? Hearing this, Saya was full of confusion. We also met halfway. We don't know anything. On the other side, as I kicked fiercely at a rebel, the veins on Sire's forehead instantly bulged. Damn it, this is totally wrong. After saying that, his hand struck his chest fiercely. I absolutely do not allow anyone to be stronger than me. As he inserted his hand into his heart, strands of weird black energy were slowly released from his body. I need stronger power. In an instant, 5 brilliant silver edges emerged on Sire's body, and the rules of the galaxy entered his body completely, and Sire's momentum exploded frantically at this moment. Climbing to an unprecedented peak, Sire turned into a huge phantom, and the entire space was twisted because of him. If the previous Sire gave everyone the feeling of being powerful and invincible, then the current feeling is explosive. Seeing this, Ling Yu's eyes condensed instantly, her whole body trembling uncontrollably. Can Lu Xing really defeat such a Sire? At this moment, I shot towards Sire quickly. However, just then, a cold voice instantly rang in my ear. You should have played enough. The next second, a huge palm held me in the palm of the hand. Sire turned into a phantom, looked at me coldly. Let's see where you run. Hearing this, I smiled without speaking, and with just a jump, I escaped from Sire's palm. As I continuously shuttled through the space, countless white beams instantly pierced through the body of Sire, who had turned into a phantom. After experiencing the pain of his physical body shattering and reorganizing time and again, the phantom's eyes were filled with anger. Damn it, why can't I catch him? Hearing this, I smiled slightly and spoke calmly. In that case, I will give you a chance. Use your full power to attack me. If you can hurt me, I will spare you today. As soon as the voice fell, Sire's figure was seen protruding from the top of the phantom's head, and on his chest, thick black blood vessels connected to the phantom below. Truly arrogant. See how I deal with you today. After saying that, the phantom's huge fist, carrying endless momentum, approached me rapidly. In an instant, a violent energy fluctuation swept through the entire starry sky. Under the pressure of this fist, the entire void saw countless star clusters explode, swallowing everything around like a black hole. Seeing this, Sire laughed loudly. You actually dare to confront my full-strength strike head-on. One must know that the current me is an existence comparable to level 13. However, as the space gradually returned to calm, the skin on my face cracked like crystal. Immediately, I spoke. Not bad. Please continue. Seeing this scene, Sire's face was full of disbelief. This is impossible. How are you still alive? Seeing him delaying his move, I urged. I told you to continue. Do you not understand human language? Sire's entire body's veins bulged in an instant. I will make you pay for your arrogance. After saying that, the phantom's fists bombarded my body frantically like raindrops. During this process, I constantly taunted. Did you not eat enough? Your fists are soft like cotton. As soon as these words came out, a strong killing intent erupted in Sire's eyes. Go die. sky. A fist wrapped in a trace of thunder momentum landed on my body. Sire stopped his fist, gasping for breath. How about it? Witnessed my power now. My surface skin gradually peeled off. After standing up, I spoke slowly. Is this your limit? Immediately after, golden runes emerged around my body. You are truly a waste. Even after becoming a dog for the alien race and absorbing so much dark energy, you are still this weak. After saying that, I lightly raised my arm. The surrounding great might of heaven and earth continuously gathered towards my fingertips. The current you is of no use anymore. In this instant, Sire felt the threat of death. Why do you possess this kind of power? Immediately, he shouted loudly to the void, Lord, save me. In an instant, a huge beam mixed with endless energy instantly pierced through the entire galaxy. As the dust gradually dissipated, streams of dark side energy passed through the black hole and went to unknown places. As Sire's eyes were gradually covered by the three silences, this also foretold that he, who had comprehended the power of 5 rules and forcibly raised himself to level 13 relying on the evil power of the exotic beast, completely walked towards destruction. Looking at the scene before him, the glasses man's eyes were dull. He couldn't understand at all. This person was obviously only level 11 on the surface, yet his combat power exploded to the point where he could easily slay a level 13. However, just then, I suddenly looked up at the starry sky. I saw the originally brilliant galaxy turn incomparably scarlet at this moment. A huge figure slowly stepped out of the void, staring at me with a gloomy gaze. Seeing this, I grinned. Are you not planning to continue hiding? But you came just in time. Sire, who was forcibly raised to level 13, was truly boring. Trouble you to let me see what a true level 13 is like. At the other end of the universe, a figure flashed past like a meteor. That person shouted loudly into the earpiece. Coordinates. Send me the coordinates again. I happened to encounter a general class beast on the way and had a fight with it, but in the end, I let it run away. Hearing this, a rushed voice came from the earpiece. Lord Skeleton Extreme Blade, have you not picked them up yet? Next, you might need to hurry up. The energy fluctuations near the coordinates suddenly became very chaotic just now. A major accident may have occurred. You must be careful. As soon as these words came out, Skeleton Extreme Blade couldn't help but speed up, a look of solemnity gradually appearing on his face. You guys must not have an accident. Meanwhile, a deformed creature covered in eyes, resembling an octopus, was staring at me viciously. A terrifying and powerful pressure instantly shrouded everyone's hearts. Fear? In the next second, a tentacle of that creature fiercely plunged into a martial artist's mouth. The strong sense of suffocation made that person's face hideous. Immediately after, countless pitch-black human figures rushed towards all the recruits with bared fangs and claws. They slaughtered their own kind like emotionless machines. Seeing this, the glasses man's pupils shrank. That is the true body of the level 13 general class exotic beast. It can control the mutated martial artists to become demonized. As weird sounds constantly came from the mouth of that exotic beast, I looked at it indifferently. What are you mumbling about? However, after seeing several demonized martial artists surrounding the glasses man and Saya, I slowly raised my arm. This is all I can do for you. If you still can't survive, I can only say sorry to you. After saying that, I turned my palm into a blade. As several sharp sword chi penetrated those demonized martial artists, a huge explosion sound instantly resounded through the starry sky. The soaring fire illuminated the entire galaxy, and the powerful shockwave sent everyone out of the battlefield. After doing all this, I spoke calmly. Now only the two of us are left. I clenched my right fist tightly. At this moment, I was like a god. The surrounding great might of heaven and earth was frantically gathering on my fist. As I punched down, the ground beneath the exotic beast's feet collapsed in an instant. After feeling this strike of mine, the general class exotic beast's huge eyes erupted with violent killing intent, and the tentacles behind it were also waving constantly. Immediately after, amidst its huge roar, countless tentacles pierced through my entire body. Seeing my hands weakly grasping the exotic beast's tentacles, Ling Yu's eyes shed 2 lines of clear tears. Why hasn't Lord Skeleton Extreme Blade arrived yet? With a level 11 body, bearing the full strength attack of a level 13 general frontally, how can one not die? A terrifyingly tyrannical genius like Lu Shen. Given time, one cannot imagine the limit of his growth, but now he has to be forced to fight a level 13 general class exotic beast. Watching such a genius about to be stifled here, I hate it. I hate it so much. Why is it like this? At this moment, my body was lifted by the tentacles like a chick. Looking at the prey in front of it, the general class exotic beast revealed a wicked smile, constantly emitting weird sounds from its mouth. I spoke slowly. Little octopus, is this your level 13 strength? It indeed has enough kick. Immediately, I lightly tapped my brow. But you are also very lucky. In an instant, as the aura on my body climbed violently, behind me, a pair of eyes emitted endless killing intent. Because you are the first creature to date to see me in this state. After feeling the threat of death, a trace of shock flashed in its huge eyes. Immediately after, it opened its bloody mouth wanting to swallow me into its belly. At the moment I was wrapped by the tentacles, the general class exotic beast opened its bloody mouth wanting to swallow me into its belly. As its jaws closed tightly, its huge eyeball emitted a glint of cold light, while weird sounds constantly came from its mouth. Seeing this scene, Saya and Tang Dun stood dumbfounded on the spot, overwhelmed. However, in the next second, the exotic beast's eyes shrank. Strands of golden light constantly seeped out from between its lips. Immediately after, a golden beam burst out from the exotic beast's beast's mouth. The dazzling light instantly illuminated the entire starry sky. The huge eyes of the exotic beast were quickly covered with black lines at this moment, as if they were about to shatter at any time. Feeling the immense pain, it immediately cut off that toad-like head. However, at the moment the head left the body, a deafening explosion sound spread through the galaxy in an instant. A figure burning with raging flames stepped out from the explosion, and at the moment of seeing that figure clearly, the huge eyes of the exotic beast beat frantically like a heart. Immediately after, countless tentacles condensed green energy at the tips. In an instant, the green energy turned into arrows leaving the string, shooting towards me rapidly, and at this moment, I slowly condensed the surrounding great might of heaven and earth together in my chest. From the beginning of its birth, a star experiences the protostar state, the main sequence star state, and finally, it will welcome its greatest glow and peak. At this time, the star, whether in volume, brightness, or temperature, will skyrocket to a maximum of 10,000 times, and this state is my strongest red giant state. I was covered by substantive red light all over my body, rushing towards the general class exotic beast at extremely fast speed. At the moment of contact with the green shockwave, bursts of fear were revealed in the exotic beast's huge eyeball. Seeing this, I spoke slowly. "What is that look in your eyes? Did you only know fear now?" As I swung a fist down, the huge body of the exotic beast turned into smoke in an instant, dissipating in the universe. Feeling the state just now, I couldn't help but be delighted. What powerful strength. However, as my surroundings returned to their original state, I seemed to have all my strength drawn away. It was a pity that I couldn't continue using it. If it were a while longer, I'm afraid my physical body and divine soul would be completely swallowed by the stellar energy. But just then, I suddenly detected an anomaly in the smoke and dust in front of me. A pitch-black figure appeared in the dust, and a voice came simultaneously. "Look at the good deed you've done." That was the physical body I condensed over hundreds of years. Hearing this, I spoke calmly. "I didn't expect even this couldn't kill you. It seems the red giant form that hasn't touched the domain of laws can only contend with you without falling into a disadvantage. But to truly slay you, it's still a bit lacking. Level 13, ultimately, requires level 13 power to kill." After saying that, bolts of black thunder circled around me. But coincidentally, I happen to have the thunder law power of the level 13 powerhouse Lei Futian. Immediately after, I appeared in front of it instantly. Above the fist wind, the surrounding thunder condensed constantly. "I shall shatter the darkness with thunder." In an instant, a purple thunder poured down like divine punishment descending to the world, washing the earth eroded by darkness. Meanwhile, Skeleton Extreme Blade was approaching the coordinates quickly. His eyes suddenly condensed, detecting an anomaly. Immediately after, he grabbed towards the surrounding void. A burnt octopus-like creature appeared in his hand. Seeing this, Skeleton Extreme Blade was instantly annoyed. I was actually confused by the illusion of this little thing, but immediately he advanced rapidly towards the coordinates. There are only those few level 13 powerhouses in the base, and there isn't a single one who has comprehended the Thunder Law. Who exactly helped me break the illusion? Must go over and see quickly. On the other side, I was frantically bombarding the body of that black shadow with my fists. Seeing this scene, the glasses man was greatly shocked. It's the power of law, and it's an extremely powerful law, far exceeding ordinary level 13 power. Why would such powerful law power exist in the hands of a person whose realm is only level 11? However, as the power of thunder continued to surge, violent energy swept the surroundings instantly. But just when it was about to affect the crowd, a barrier wrapped a few people, blocking the invasion of the thunder. Skeleton Extreme Blade appeared in front of the 4 people. "Was it you who sent the distress signal?" Hearing this, the glasses man felt relieved. "Yes, Lord Skeleton Extreme Blade, you finally came." Immediately after, Skeleton Extreme Blade asked, "It's been hard on you to hold on until now. Which level 13 powerhouse is fighting the general class exotic beast?" Seeing the two not responding for a long time, Skeleton Extreme Blade frowned instantly. "What? Do you not know that person? Can you confirm it is a level 13 powerhouse from our human side?" After a moment of silence, the glasses man said in a deep voice, "It is from our human side, but not some level 13 powerhouse, but a martial artist named Lu Sheng in our team." As soon as these words came out, Skeleton Extreme Blade's eyes condensed. "Say that again." Skeleton Extreme Blade was greatly shocked. "What? A person in the recruit team?" A flash of complexity passed through the glasses man's eyes. "You didn't hear wrong. Lu Sheng is a martial artist who temporarily hitched a ride on the conscription ship from the Yamu Star sector. This is also his first time stepping into the void battlefield." As soon as these words came out, Skeleton Extreme Blade's face was full of solemnity. Looking at the figure fighting fiercely not far away, he murmured, "Is this person Lu Sheng?" Meanwhile, one of my hands grabbed the head of the general class exotic beast. My tone revealed a trace of displeasure. "Since you lost the power of that physical body, you became so weak. Truly boring. Let's end it early." After saying that, I turned my left hand into a blade. As a bolt of thunder cut through the starry sky, brilliant light illuminated the entire galaxy. As the dust gradually dissipated, I stood with my hands behind my back, holding the head of the exotic beast in one hand. Level 13 general class exotic beast. Nothing more than this. Soon, after refining the remnant body of the exotic beast, I only felt an invisible drowsiness wrap me instantly. Around me, streams of rule power turned into flowing light circling around me. Immediately after, in the astonished gazes of the crowd, a huge silkworm cocoon covered me layer by layer. Skeleton Skeleton Extreme Blade stepped forward slowly, feeling the traces of destructive aura emitted by the cocoon. Such a thick energy body. Is Lu Sheng about to make a breakthrough on the spot? After thinking repeatedly, Skeleton Extreme Blade spoke calmly to the people behind him. Let's go. Return to the base first. Looking at the broken void healing quickly beside them, the past events were vivid in their minds, yet as bizarre and absurd as a dream, making it unforgettable for a lifetime. If not for the many missing companions beside them and the scars left on their bodies, they would almost dare not confirm everything they had just experienced. After flying for an unknown amount of time, Skeleton Extreme Blade said to the crowd, "You can stop, we have arrived." After everyone landed, this is the base belonging to the human side in the void battlefield. Immediately after, a soldier wearing a combat suit bowed to Skeleton Extreme Blade. "Welcome back from the mission, Lord Skeleton Extreme Blade." Seeing the number of recruits behind him, the soldier joked, "I didn't expect the number of surviving members this time to be quite large." However, Skeleton Extreme Blade disapproved. Leaving me, who had turned into a cocoon, on the spot, he ordered the soldier, "Send a few more people to guard this cocoon." After saying that, he was seen flying quickly towards the interior of the base, until a magnificent statue appeared in front of him. Skeleton Extreme Blade landed slowly. A short-haired girl with an exquisite face marveled, "Isn't this Lord Skeleton Extreme Blade? Why back so soon this time? I thought it would take at least 7 or 8 cosmic days." Could it be that when the Lord arrived, that group of recruits had all croaked? Hearing this, Skeleton Extreme Blade was instantly speechless. "Martha, where did you learn new words again?" The newcomers were brought back successfully, but there was a little accident. "I want to see the General Starhead. Does he have time now?" Martha playfully touched her cheek. "The General Starhead is inside, but whether he is busy or not, I don't know. I'll go announce for you." After waiting for a moment, Martha waved the Skeleton Extreme Blade. "Go in quickly. The General Starhead is waiting for you inside." As the heavy door in front of him made a mechanical sound, Skeleton Extreme Blade walked towards the depths of the base with large strides. Behind the door, in the empty room, only his own footsteps could be heard. Skeleton Extreme Blade bowed respectfully to the General Starhead in the depths. "Greetings, Lord Makiduo. There are a total of 2 Starheads in the 100 star sectors. One commands the 100 star sectors of this universe, and the other is Makiduo, who is responsible for guarding the void battlefield. Both have equivalent status and strength, being level 14 Starry Sky Supreme powerhouses who have comprehended the domain of laws." At this moment, he was staring at Skeleton Extreme Blade, emitting a low voice from his mouth. "H, I heard you have something to report to me. As far as I know, you just went out on a mission not long ago." Hearing this, Skeleton Extreme Blade's eyes were grave. "I came to find you, Lord, precisely because of this matter. The one attacking the recruit team this time should be a lackey under the Lord of Oblivion. Even I accidentally fell under its curse, resulting in a slight deviation in time." Makiduo frowned slightly. "You mean you failed?" Feeling the pressure, Skeleton Extreme Blade shook his head hurriedly, reporting to the Lord exactly the opposite. "This batch of recruits not only came back, but the number of survivors far exceeded our estimates. And the reason for all this is that among this group of recruits, there is a level 13 powerhouse who comprehended the Thunder Law to help. When I arrived, he had already killed that lackey and ended everything." As soon as these words came out, Makiduo's expression was instantly stunned. "What? Comprehended Thunder Law at level 13? Is this true?" Back to Lord General Starhead. "I am very sure. It is a powerhouse who comprehended the level 13 Thunder Law. I personally felt that thunder filled with destruction and destructive power. Even I dare not confront it head-on." Hearing this, 4 of Makiduo's arms hugged his chest, his words full of joy. "If it is really Thunder Law, it is undoubtedly great news for our 100 star sectors. One must know that our star sector hasn't produced a martial arts genius capable of comprehending such powerful laws for a long time. Where is that person now? I want to see him immediately." Skeleton Extreme Blade's eyes showed a bit of helplessness. "The person is outside the base's protective shield. No, I didn't bring him in." As soon as these words came out, Makiduo was somewhat displeased. "You could have waited for his identity verification to be completed and brought him over together. Leaving a genius capable of comprehending Thunder Law alone outside the base is a very disrespectful practice." Skeleton Extreme Blade immediately bowed to explain. Subordinate also thought about it. "It's just that the situation of that one is a bit complicated now. I hope the Lord can go to meet him together." Hearing this, Makiduo frowned slightly and said no more. A moment later, 2 figures flew out of the base quickly. Meanwhile, the 2 guiders also felt a powerful aura approaching them rapidly. However, after seeing the incomers, the 2 immediately bowed. "Greetings, Lord General Starhead." But at the moment Makiduo touched that huge cocoon, his eyes instantly flowed with intense joy. "It really is Thunder Law, and this person is also a pure Starry Sky human." In the next second, he slapped Skeleton Extreme Blade's thin body. "You made a great contribution this time. You actually brought back such a powerful genius to us. Not only that, our genius compatriot also gained a lot of benefits after killing the lackey of the Lord of Oblivion. It seems he reached a critical threshold. He is currently at a breakthrough checkpoint. His talent, strength, and foundation are excellent, and he is so full of vitality. He is simply a rising new star. After he wakes up, we must build a good relationship, strive to let him stay here for a few years, and after putting the brand of our 100 star sectors on him, report him to the main star system." Thinking of this, he looked aside. "H, do you know the identity background of this partner of ours?" Skeleton Extreme Blade closed his eyes to think. Subordinate is not very clear either. You better ask the guiders. Maybe they know some situations. Seeing the nervous expressions on the two's faces, Makido waved his hand. You completed the mission well this time. Report the identity information of the person in this cocoon. The two exchanged glances. Then the glasses man spoke. This person is named Lu Shen from the Yamu star sector. Because he missed the conscription ship of his star sector, he came along with our conscription ship. Hearing this, Makido frowned slightly. So he is a recruit who followed the ship. However, in the next second, he was stunned instantly. Immediately he questioned the glasses man. You said this person came with your conscription ship? That means he is still a recruit? After understanding some things, Makido looked at the cocoon. A level 13 recruit, first time in the void battlefield. That means he broke through to level 13 in this universe. Although this situation is rare, at least it proves that this level 13 still belongs to our 100 star sectors. No level 13 has been born in the star sector for a long time. I didn't expect a rare talent to appear in these few years that I haven't really heard of. Could it be that fellow Soyuz wanted to give me a surprise? At the same time, the glasses man handed over a document. Looking at the content on the screen, when is this from? Level 11? It hasn't been updated for thousands of years, right? Ling Yu explained, reporting to Lord General Starhead. This is all the Yamu star sector transmitted to us. The data itself is fine. The strength perceived when meeting Lu Sheng was indeed level 11, but it was this guy who looked unremarkable on the surface who actually overturned the level 13 general class exotic beast directly. Makido reached out to stop her. I'd better check it myself. After saying that, massive data appeared in front of him. Yamu star sector. Earl, Lu Shen. In an instant, a burst of flame ignited in Makido's eyes. Immediately after, an aura belonging to a level 14 Wa domain powerhouse swept the surroundings. Seeing this, Skeleton Extreme Blade's face changed drastically. Immediately he appeared in front of the two guiders to block the invasion of this energy. Lord General Starhead, please wake up. After hearing the shout, Makido also returned from his distraction. The terrifying energy around him also withdrew quickly under his control. Truly sorry, I received a little shock just now and scared you. Hearing this, Skeleton Extreme Blade couldn't help but think secretly. The spiritual mind of a powerhouse like the General Starhead far exceeds ordinary martial artists by hundreds of millions of times. I didn't expect him to have his mind shaken because of a document about Lu Sheng, so much so that he lost control of his own power. What exactly did he see in Lu Sheng's file? H, you take a look too. What is worth seeing in a file that hasn't been updated well? But before he could finish his words, upon seeing the content, Skeleton Extreme Blade was greatly shocked. How is this possible? 20 years old, level 11, and these are all things that happened this year. Looking at the data in front of him, Skeleton Extreme Blade's body couldn't stop trembling. 20 years old, level 11. One must know that he spent more than 200 years to reach this realm. Counting throughout the 100 star sectors, achieving level 11 before the age of 500 is considered outstanding talent, and before 100 years old is like finding a grain of dust in the vast universe. With Lu Sheng's aptitude, perhaps even A.O. Turing, who is currently recognized as the most talented in the 100 star sector's battlefield and possesses the immortal great extraordinary life body, and as the heir of the top family in the star sector, he only reached level 11 at the age of 40. Makido frowned slightly. Yes, a talent like A.O. is even hailed as the monstrous existence most hopeful to achieve the level 15 galaxy master in the history of the E-star sector. But compared to this young man before us, he is still like a star compared to the bright moon. Lu Sheng possesses an even more powerful immortal grade talent extraordinary life body, achieving level 11 a full 20 years earlier than A.O. This means he has a greater possibility of ascending to the galaxy master. It seems the title of the #1 genius in the 100 star sectors is about to change hands, and more importantly, this person belongs to our star sector. As soon as these words came out, Skeleton Extreme Blade couldn't help but be startled. Promoted from level 11 to level 13 in 2 months. How is this possible? Makido nodded slightly. It is still possible. H, don't forget there is also that. However, just as Skeleton Extreme Blade was shocked, a powerful energy fluctuation suddenly came from the cocoon beside them. Terrifying pressure swept this world in an instant. Seeing this, Skeleton Extreme Blade's eyes were full of disbelief. This is Rule Galaxy. So many Rule Galaxies. Meanwhile, Makido stared at the cocoon intently as if he had found a rare treasure. H, you guessed right. He indeed comprehended the Thunder Law at level 11. It seems we really are going to welcome a genius far exceeding the Turing family. A super monster unprecedented in history that shakes the starry sky. Recalling the previous scene, Skeleton Extreme Blade clicked his tongue secretly. I didn't expect he really slayed the level 13 general class exotic beast with a level 11 body. And at this moment, countless Rule Galaxies merged into the cocoon. Violent thunder power wrapped me completely. My facial veins bulged. Since using the red giant form was already the limit I could bear in the martial god state, after using the Thunder Law power, this delicate balance was completely broken, causing my body to collapse in an instant. But fortunately, the 330,000 immortal cells in my body guarded the last line of defense for me, giving me a chance to condense my body again. After practicing the Mystic Spirit Treasure Record, the immortal Dao True patterns engraved in my flesh and bones also made my martial body much tougher. Even so, relying on the recovery of immortal cells, I only reached a state of half energy body and half physical body. Sure enough, the cosmic energy of the Thunder Law is too huge. These powers with nowhere to vent can only be released into the body, causing my martial body to be constantly torn, destroyed, and reborn. Thinking of this, I looked at the three forces suspended in my body. One is the mysterious immortal Tao White Star, one is the burning red giant star, and the last one is the Thunder Giant Star filled with destruction. Because of the addition of the Thunder Law, my immortal martial path seems to have taken a big step forward, and what I have to do now is to fuse these three forces to break through in one fell swoop. First is you, immortal Tao White Star. At the moment of inserting my hand into the sphere, I felt the golden core and immortal cells in my body begin to proliferate rapidly at a speed of 1,000 times. From the initial 330,000, it reached 1,000,000 in one go. At this moment, I had an incomparably clear and huge insight into the operation and evolution of the universe rules. Immediately after, I looked at the Thunder Giant Star behind me. Next is you. Comprehend rules. Draw rule power into the body. Bolts of thunder frantically poured into my body at this moment, and I will integrate the 26 martial arts obtained from the Fire Seed, plus the 12 originally owned, totaling 38 rule powers into my body. After completing the fusion of two forces, I looked at the last one. Next is you. With the blessing of the mighty power of 5,000,000 immortal cells and the stellar power, if I add the transformed immortal martial supreme body and the blessing of the golden glazed body supernatural power, I wonder what level my martial body will reach. After saying that, I leaped up. I really look forward to being able to crush level 13 with one hand without using the power of thunder. Let me try it. Thunder bred in the sun, and divine power bred in the immortal Tao.